Hello, my name is Atanakolu Atobi, and welcome to the part 2 of core HTML concepts. Yeah, so the second part, we've discussed about HTML schematics, HTML5 part, and now we're on HTML responsive. And when we say HTML responsive, what we're actually discussing is just basically what how to make to view some parts of your site like on different screens. And majorly, HTML responsiveness happens basically not just only on text, even on images, but it does not happen without CSS. It needs a little section of CSS, a little write up of CSS. So, but one of the things that is important in while writing HTML responsive, why it's actually included in this course is this section. So every HTML file that you create usually have this. Usually you have this. So let me go to a reference. Let me go to W3 schools reference on HTML responsive so that I can buttress and you could understand what it means. Although this is not regular usage, you don't really even use what is it called the HTML. Usually, what you just use is the CSS. But when HTML responsiveness comes, you need this section. So going in before even going into details, first I will want to define what responsiveness means to those who are very new to coding. So responsiveness means to display that's responsiveness web design is about HTML to automatically resize, shrink, hide or enlarge a website to make it look good on all devices. And what it means is on what you have on your desktop, if somebody is viewing your website on a desktop, on a mobile, or whatever screen, it should still look okay. It should still look readable. And for example, I'll be showing you what it means by responsiveness. What I just did was I right click and I went to my Chrome Inspector tool so that I could see. Then I clicked on this responsive element that um, Chrome has given us. So then I could actually see different viewports. This is actually a laptop screen. So this looks okay. We could see it has another one 024 screen, which still looks almost like the laptop screen, but you could see that it's actually shrinking a bit. And if I move down to this, you could see now this sidebar is now the hamburger menu. It has become an hamburger menu. So you could enlarge and expand, and you could see this you would also see this changing. You could see that there were some banners at the side of this previously, but now let me go back again and show it this sidebar, and they are gone, so it's been hidden on that screen. Then going further, going to this screen, you could see now this has even changed. On this screen you could see that they have this kind of menus and all this, but when you come down to this you could see that it's just menu while all those things are inside. So what responsiveness basically means is you are catering for different screens. Yes, responsiveness is actually a large thing, not difficult, still very easy, but it's one of the key parts of a front-end developer. So learning how to make things responsive is very very key. That's media query, which is we are going to be discussing when we get to the CSS part. But for HTML, I was only going to tell you what responsive means and the key parts of responsiveness. So every responsive website usually have these elements, meta viewpoint, and when you are creating a responsive website, you usually use there is even responsive HTML usually have a width kind of or height. So there's something they call VW. So what VW basically means is view width. So that means take that is a VW, which means view width. So what VW actually means is actually taking the viewport, the width you could see. So it's taking the width, the size. So it's like shrinking to the size of so that it could actually still take that element. So let's look at the example they gave. They gave us this example for this hello world. So now this is actually 10 view width. So it's actually taking a 10 something on this width. But when I start resizing, same thing with 5.5. But when I start resizing this element, you would see what happens. So let me start resizing. Let me start shrinking it. Okay, yeah. So you can see it's reducing. The text is actually reducing. It's trying to take a shape. It's reducing to take a better. Now it's looking smaller, and you could even see the P. At the first instance, see this P, the first P, which actually has 5W, and the other one, and the one that does not have any style in it. You could see that this one that does not have any style in it is looking small. But as I increase, the other one, the one that has style in it, reduces, while the other one still maintains its position. Then it gets to a point where that one is still maintaining its position, while the one with the 5 view width now shrinks to become so small, and the one without styling still remains. So that's one of the function of um this element that is there. That's one of the function of this element that is there. That's what is handling the view width and all. So let me just reduce this width. If I should remove this width, view width property, and run, you would see it's taking the same distance. But this view width, viewport width is actually doing something. So that's how to make some text look responsive while you are actually on the screen. Then this also still happens um, on. I don't want to go to any CSS so that you don't feel overwhelmed. So this also still happens. You can see CSS. That's why I'm actually skipping it. So let me show you this image also. Let me show you the two. You see what happens with the function of that view width, although we can't see the code for that. So let me resize. I will see that it's like one is actually different. One is with the view meta tag, and the other is not with the meta tag. This meta tag of view width that is quite important. So inspect. Inspect. So let me just reduce. Let me start with this. Yeah, you can see this word. As the way I reduce this, the image is not taking the full width, as you can see. The image is actually just reducing. So you could also understand that this actually does not have any meta tag in it. So if I open this down, you would see there's no meta tag. So it's not taking any width or resizing to a width. But if I check into this that has a meta tag, you would see the meta tag body which is there. If I should resize this, you could, even without resizing, you can already see, even it's like this, as it goes, it takes that width and it shrinks down. Unlike this one, unlike the first one, what is it? This, when it's big, they actually look the same. The same. You can see they look the same. But as we shrink, now you could see the difference in them. As we shrink, this shrinks, but this takes the width when it gets to a particular screen size. Takes the full width. You could see. So that's the purpose of this view port. So without going into full details, I just want you people to understand what how you could do just very little responsiveness with HTML, although they're not very important. This is just an introduction to responsiveness and the definition of how responsiveness works. So in our next section that we have HTML symbols. HTML symbols. HTML symbols is there are different type of symbols in HTML. Be it letter that you could not just add. You can't just put them on inside your browser. For example, sometimes you want to write something like, let me do a div here. Even though they've yes, I have an arrow whatsoever. So I'm trying to write this arrow. Let this refresh. Yeah, it's showing me this arrow sign. But basically, CSS does not take what is it called? There's something that you don't have on your keyboard. CSS does not. That's not the area I wanted to show. I think it's this. Yeah, this on your Windows, you will not even see this arrow. Um, this is the pounds or euro, whichever one. Um, icon is this. Let's see refresh. This you can't easily just see them on your Windows. So sometimes you have to go to browser to go and copy then paste. But HTML already gives you those figure, but Google gives you those code. But I'll tell you also for the fact that don't cram all of this. You don't have to put everything on your head. That's why you have the browser, that's why you have resources. So it's very good whenever you need to browse things. Even senior developers still make use of the internet to browse, to like research. So it's not everything that is on their head. I'll tell you for the fact. So I could say this is what they copied. So you could copy this with display as so. Let's see what they actually display. So this is actually code. There are different ways of actually doing the euro sign, and they gave code. All you need to do, you need something like this, is just to browse things like while this is still loading. Let me just browse it. Let me remove this. Looks like the system is hanging a bit. Okay, so let me just say stuff like HTML arrow code. And where this thing is basically useful is when, for example, you are trying to create an email template. There are a lot of things that when you are trying to write an email template, it's advisable don't just paste something so that you don't have error. So you have to just use the code. So you can see these are two actually. Wow, they were able to suggest three for us here. So these are the code. So you don't need to like copy what is it called, to just go to the internet and go and drag an icon. That, for example, if you have a view or just go to actually stuff like that, use the proper way. That's why they have something like code structures. So even though it says you can copy Control C, Control V, but it's not everything that is readily available also. So going to the next part is that different symbol that you could see from here, the ones that are keyboard. So they gave you a way to actually do it. So this is actually for whole, this is actually partial difference, which is the math, like math differential. Then you have several ones. So you could actually reference this maybe math symbols from this link. Then you have some other symbols that are here, even the cards ones, the currency, which is one I brought out from the euro. Then there are a lot of them. So what I would just say inside like majority is don't put every can you definitely can put all this code on your head. Well, people can actually, but I'll tell you that it's not it's good. I'll not say it's not good, but put more other things on your head. Though you've not used half of your brain, but it's fine not knowing all this on your head. So it's very fine. No one would actually ask you I don't think I've never heard of it in an interview. Tell me the code, the exact code for maybe euro or dollar or something, except they give you that to read specifically. So good on that. Then the next part we'll be touching is actually HTML emojis. Now you would have been seeing different emojis, maybe on code, for example, love with you, then you see a love icon, Sometimes I know that a lot of you actually see maybe they just copied an image, or you could actually copy. Yes, you can copy from the browser and paste. But let me show you for example. Let me look for love icon, love emoji, love emoji. Then we have this. So let me just copy this. Let me see how I can copy this. Try to copy this. Okay. So I've copied this love icon. So who do I want to paste it? Let me paste it here. Yes, I've added the love, what I copied. And let's see what it will give us. It won't give us anything very good. Yes, it might show the love. Yeah, you can see. It showed the love, but if I'm trying to read my code and I'm seeing this love icon, although it worked, but I'll tell you for the fact that these are not the proper way of doing it. That's why they created, definitely themselves, they created an emoji pack. So all these actually have their code. So because they are supported by what's it called, UTF 18 character, that's a character set. That's code, basically what converts your code to what could be readable. So there are lots of emojis where you could actually reference your full HTML emojis, even the love ones. So let's see about the love. Let's get the love part. Let's see. And let's just see the difference between both of them. So let me just search love emoji HTML code. This is it. And then art. I'm not sure you could, okay, you could actually still copy that. So let me see, I'm not sure. So if I should copy this and I paste just right fully beside there and I save. But see, this is actually like code. Takes it up as a code. So this is green, this is red. But one good part is if I do, I can actually style my emoji color. Let's see. You can see this actually takes the shape of green. But because I copied this from the internet, it's not changing. I could increase the font size of this and say font size 200 pixel, and let's see. Yes, this actually still increased, but I could see this also. This is actually the real love emoji. So if I can change color of this to even yellow, that's why sometimes it's always best copy the code so that you can do further edits, change the color, do other few things on it, and you could see this now looks even bigger than this. Although this is what I want. Let me give it a red. Yeah, this is actually the normal red. This would actually look like an image. So you can see there are several emojis that you could copy code from. So this is always very important. Star hash. Um, one hash. Then a semicolon. So that's emoji pack using HTML. So going after this, then we have one of the good ones to know, which is HTML entities. What HTML entities simply means are like a code wise. So let me go back here. Yeah. So it's still more like those symbols. So for example, you want to put greater than, you already automatically know that when you do something like this, if you do div, once you do this, automatically this already takes it like an error, or you are trying to like, I don't know, yeah. So how can you do this while writing code? Because most times you will even need it. You can need it to actually show me mathematical symbol, or you are actually trying to put an element into that kind of brace. So greater than, less than. It should not be difficult. So you don't just copy, you also go online and say copy and paste. This one you cannot even copy and paste because it's going to be the same thing. It's still going to give you the same icon. And it will be very bad if you are going to be putting it inside the bracket. So what happens is we have the less than, which is the LT, and LT, then semicolon, which is like um and LT, and LT, which is less than, then and greater, which is greater than. So you'd see it, yeah, less than, then greater than. So for example, you are trying to display a code, you're trying to show an example of a code, then you need to like put something like let's say this is a boy, or let me just put a p, then let me do the next one, which is and greater than, then I would say this is a boy from Zuri 10. Then I can also see do something like, just copy these two things, let me paste here, then I can now say something like this. Let's see. We should give us, so it gave us like a p tag, although the font size I use is actually a lot. So let me just reduce it to 20. Yeah, so this is a boy, and but you can't readily achieve this without the normal greater than and less than, because it won't show. Aside you want to start doing things like, which I would not advise, something like, which is even still show as p, to still show as a p, to still show as a p, yeah, it's still going to show as a p. So no matter how you want to do it, it won't work easily that way. So there's still other entity elements, which is something like and this double quote with different symbols. There are a lot of them trademark, because a lot of people, if you want to write this, copyright is always below, and probably dates. You will always have difficulty with this, and this for future. If you've not used it before, you would see it. So it's all usually this and copy, and you majorly see all of these kind of things in footers, copyrights. Usually in footers, usually in footers. Let me see. The everything should have. Take my network. Yeah. So you could try out one of the best way to learn as a front-end developer is always just, even though you're not using it now, is always try to go back, try things out, see how they work and how they work for you. Then you could also see W3 Schools is a great resources where you could revise what you have been taught, then check out for resources Then aside W3 schools, then there's still also a MDN doc. Is it MDN doc? Yeah, MDN docs, web docs, where you could see various resources and how they are being done, the way they are done also. Let me just go for the HTML. Yeah, you could see different ways in HTML. So with this, I believe you should be able to understand the core part of HTML. The, so when we start using them majorly in building our code site, which I would be doing in my next live class, which should be coming up soon. So